Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're taking a look at the Callisto Protocol performance updated video here, and my original video done on launch day was pre-patch altogether, not even the day 1.12.2 that they released very late in the day. Now, these two patches in the past week have helped with shader and PSO caching to help with the optimizations and the stuttering in the game, with more performance updates on the way. They've even said they're looking at specific Steam Deck updates, which would be great. Now, as we get into this video, I will be matching settings to my new footage after the two patches here that I've recorded, and also from pre-patch. And I'll also be using a Steam Deck that's been re-imaged and never ran the game before, so that both of these versions you're seeing are the game running for the very first time as well, so that everything is on par there. But you can see all the settings here listed out for you. I don't want to go crazy going over those, but they are matched just like my launch day, and we're going to get more into these later in the video with some other options as well. Now, I can say off the bat, I've got about 9 hours or so in Callisto Protocol on Steam Deck testing it, and it does feel much better now than it did on launch day when I was testing it before any of the patches. Let's look at these comparisons as we walk out here, and look at the stuttering on the left versus the right, pre-patch and after patches, just in that particular area, and we'll take a look at more. There's a big difference when you're coming into certain areas and you get those big dips and your GPU usage goes way down in the 70s or 80s. You don't see that now after these two patches, which is great to see. And as far as performance in some areas, of course, FPS will be about the same, but we just gain in the smoothness of the gameplay. Watch as we turn this corner here on the right after patches. Sure, it dips, but it's much smoother than the left here, where it goes all the way down to 22%. Dips in the GPU usage, and it's just not as smooth of an experience. Again, this is a first-time playthrough for both of these recordings. And the same thing here. While we will get similar FPS and performance, you'll see GPU usage is a little better here, and our frame rate just doesn't dip or tank or have as much issue as it does pre-patches here. So it's definitely a little bit better setup. Now, they're not perfectly lined up here, but watch this right here as we get past this scene and we go into the next part where we're using our melee, and you'll see a big difference in what the FPS does here and the dips in the GPU. 73% there on the GPU, dipped way down, and we went down into the 20s, and again there. See, those big dips are not happening now after the patches, which is great to see. So this is providing a much smoother experience, even if you're pretty much playing at the same frame rate and performance as you were before. It just feels much better to play, and you're not getting those same stuttery issues that we were getting on launch day, which is great to see. Now, I even have gone in and changed some things. I've upped FSR to quality because I don't have to worry about things stuttering as much here, and I've also upped the textures to medium. And I've locked the game to 30 FPS. This is kind of where I'm playing it right now. Less wattage being used, more battery life. The game plays pretty smooth at the 30 FPS, using a little bit less resources, fan noise, heat, all that kind of stuff. But with the updated patches, I'm getting much less problems even with these settings, as to where I would still get those weird stutters and load-in spots. Even when we jump in here and things get a little nutty, and I just let things get crazy because I'm planning on dying here anyway, to show just with enemies all around me and me just whacking away like an idiot, we're not getting major dips or issues here like I might have experienced before when action got a little crazy, even at a locked 30 FPS. So pretty cool. Now, let's switch over to this scene. I do want to talk about FSR a little bit, because if you are going to lock your game to 30 and not run a variable refresh rate, with the resources here being used, you could technically get rid of FSR and get rid of some of the shimmer and pixelation looking stuff that you get here with the upscaling. Let me switch over to no FSR with all the same settings we've been talking about. And the picture quality image, even for the 800p, is just a lot cleaner, and you don't get those shimmery lines and issues with like the hair and fine detail. So if you want to run the game with no FSR, 30 FPS with these settings, it seems to work pretty well too. I've tested it in quite a few areas, and while GPU usage and stuff is of course a little higher, I don't get like big dips or issues with it. Let's even jump over to that combat area I was just at with FSR on quality. Now with it off in that same area, you can see we got a couple more dips we didn't get before. GPU usage bounces a little bit higher, but for the most part, image quality is really good, and we're maintaining the 30. So that's up to you what you want to do with FSR, or if you want to play around with FSR and upping some of the other settings from low to medium and gain a little bit more out of the game. But we're already kind of pushing it here, but you can definitely get a little bit more out of it and a little bit smoother experience now after these two patches, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they continue to improve this game going forward. But anyways, I hope this video was useful for you guys. I appreciate you coming to watch as always. If you haven't already, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, leave your comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.